Oh my fucking incredible. I have figured out how you can go live on YouTube privately for Patreon. This is incredible. If you're on my Patreon account right now, you can pop in here and watch this live. This is incredible. If you're watching the replay, oh my God. I might even put this podcast out for free, ladies and gentlemen. This is a live Patreon podcast. Well, it's more like a vlog. But it's a daily vlog that I've started here on Patreon for $1 a month, so I can put out more content because you guys are asking for more stuff, and that's what I'm doing. I want to thank my recent one, Urban Heretic, we and Kate Drummond. Kate Drummond now is a Patreon member. She's the recent one. I thank her very much. She's my photographer. Has taken some of my photos. I think they're a little obsolete now compared to the new ones I have, so we have to upgrade. Anyways, thank you so much, Kate, because she's been there since the very beginning when I started doing this comedy thing. I think this might be a good time for me to sit down with you guys and like go through the process of how I started like getting into comedy. It was just something in Ottawa where I decided at the age of 22 I needed something to do different with my life. I wasn't doing anything. I felt like my broadcasting thing wasn't taking me anywhere. So why not try something that people would respect me for more doing? And then I started like thinking of I actually lived with a roommate at the time, and he was doing stand up. So I got the impression of like, wow, it's like I I've always liked comedy. I want to I want to try it. So I think I might be a comedian. So from that day forward, I was like, all right, well, if I'm gonna go with this, I need to think of a stage name because I feel like the world is a bad place out there, and you should always stay protected. So, yeah, always carry protection with you, aka a flavored condom. Actually, it doesn't have to be flavored. It's got to be the most comfortable condom because I don't know. It's like for girls, I guess. I don't know. It's like, does it make a difference? I'm not a girl. It's like I just buy the most comfortable one because I felt like it's feel like being naked almost, right? I don't know. It's like been a while. It's like been a year and a half for me since I've had intercourse. But the last time I did have intercourse, we went on for like months of just like every day having sex. It was like, holy shit. Whatever. Anyways, I got off topic. But yeah, so I got into comedy. Oh my god, this is already a great start. So I got into comedy by just thinking of I should start a Twitter account, I should start an Instagram account, and then I should just like follow a bunch of people on social media. So I had 10,000 followers, I think, within like a week. It was fucking incredible. I think this one when Twitter was like a little bit laid back, but I think that's kind of impossible. I think what I did was I would go through like comedians that I think I liked, and I think I like just like followed a bunch of people randomly that were liking people's stuff, and then they would follow me back, and then we would talk. So that's how I just got on social media. I was just doing that, and I did the same thing with Instagram. And then obviously that's spamming, I think, on Twitter, but you'll learn, and I've got my account still. It's got like 13.4 thousand followers. That's pretty fucking impressive. I would say so myself. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, I built up a social media presence within a few weeks on social media. And then I went to a open mic in Ottawa, Ontario at Yuck Yucks. Yuck Yucks is like basically the Laugh Factory of Canada, where it's known throughout everywhere. And then from there on, it's just like I went to my buddy's house and just like talked about comedy, going to a show, and then just I thought, oh wait, I think it started. I wanted to make a comedy show, and we were gonna call it the Cooper Show. So it's like it could still happen today. We have those vintage photos, Kate, of that. I think we have to show them on Patreon here. I definitely. There is a posting in Patreon that you guys can just post stuff. So if you guys have old photos of me that you guys enjoy or anything like that, go feel free to post whatever you guys want. Yeah, and then so yeah, me and Kate just like took a bunch of cover photos because obviously you gotta have a good cover photo if you gotta look good on social media. Obviously, people react like that kind of stuff. And then I decided to move out to British Columbia and pursue comedy full time. So when I got to like Hope, I didn't move to Vancouver. I moved to like I moved about 2 hours away from Vancouver, might be 2.5 hours. A place called Hope, British Columbia. Very famous for the movie Rambo: First Blood. That was where that was filmed. If you guys want to look that up, go ahead by all means. That's the only reason why that town is famous, because the town now is run by homeless people. They are the local celebrities in town, and they're always being talked about every day. It was a turf war, and they won between me and them. I'm gonna write that shit down. By the way, I have all these notes I've been taking. What was that? Oh, fuck. Turf war. Hobos. So yeah, I'm gonna read off these later on, but what these? Oh man, this is already wet. Oh man. Oh, what a waste of time that is. I just bought that. It's already soaking wet. Fuck off. Piece of shit. It's my own fault for putting it in wet clothes. Anyways, back to the comedy thing. So yeah, and then I called up Vancouver Yuck Yucks and said, hey, I just moved out here and I want to do comedy. I wonder if you guys have like an amateur thing for me. So they said, all right, we'll give you 2 months to put together a set. I got fucking stoked. I literally I had like nothing going for me when I just moved in December in 2012. And I just like, holy fuck. It's time for me to put a set together. So I just randomly sat down and thought of this stupid ass story of like, all right, what am I good at? What can I make a fake story believable? Can I somehow like tell if Big Bird was real? So you can go check it out. It's for free on my YouTube thing. It's got like over 1,200 views. It was like the first thing I ever wrote down. I just spent a whole day just doing research on all this stupid shit, like when Big Bird was created, how Big Bird was created. Like if I could make a fake story believable and make it like seem like it was like a Dr. Jekyll. Oh god, sorry man, I'm boring my own podcast here. I had to take a drink. See, that's why that story wasn't funny. I actually tested that out on Wednesday and it didn't get any laughs. So I will never be telling that story again. That's why it's available for free on YouTube. Go check it out. It's just a stupid ass story about how my idea of Bigfoot was real. That's all. So yeah, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna scratch this because this is absolute bullshit. It's not comedy at all. and then uh, and then I wrote down some things, some like premises that I thought were funny. I thought that Tetris getting people mad was angry, or I thought Tetris makes people angry. Um, and what else? I I tried making a joke about if the Pope would swore on media, how badly that would cost him his job. I think that's funny enough. It'd be like, god damn it, son of a bitch. I think it would just be funny to see how the Pope do that accidentally. Oh, that would just make gifts worldwide. Oh boy. Anyways. Yeah, and then so yeah, I used those couple of jokes. I think it was like only like 3 minutes. So I only went on there. I did way less than like 5. I'll wrap it up. I'll wrap it up here. Okay, and then right after I did my set, my grandfather's wife was taken to the hospital that evening after I did my set. She was taken to the hospital, and very sad because she was giving me advice about my first set, and she talked and she wished me luck. And then the next day she was in the hospital and a flesh eating disorder. It was shocking. Everybody was shocked because how quickly that kicked in. It's like all she did was just go to a doctor and then saying, "Oh my God," it's like that's it. She was out cold and never woke up again. We were in the hospital, and then whole family. It's like was in shock. It's like unexpected, and I made her a promise. I promised her that I would be a great comedian, and I lived up to that promise. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that later. But that, yeah, in like a couple of days, she had passed away, and everybody was in shock. My grandfather, he barely can walk. He has to use a cane to walk around. So, and this was the first time I got to meet my father's side of the family. So most of my life, I knew my mother's side of the family. Me moving out to British Columbia, I didn't really know most of my father's family, and so it's yeah, this was a big thing for me. Yeah, so I just took time off away from comedy. I was like, you know what, let me focus on like helping my grandfather out for a while first. Took maybe and while in the meantime, while I was helping my grandfather, I knew it wasn't the right time, I think, for me to do stand up, but it was still important for me to still learn within the industry and like learn names. So, and that is what I did with social media. I went on social media, and I spent every day learning about how to use it. You can favorite up to 1,000 tweets every 24 hours. And I did that. I spent an hour almost of just going through hashtags I enjoyed and people's tweets and just liking stuff. And then that's how I gained followers. I think you can retweet up to a lot of things. I did different things. I joined the hashtag community at a point where I was doing a hashtag game. And then, I gotta wrap it up soon. This thing's about to die off. Crap. Well, maybe I'll just move to a different location. Yeah, I'll just do it handheld or something. Anyways. Oh, no, wait. You know what I'll do? Oh, God. There we go. Sorry for the interference, technical problems. There we go. Okay. So now you guys have to be here. Fucking technical problems, man. It's like, that's always my problem. I can't afford everything. Like, I live fucking paycheck to paycheck for the last 10 fucking years. Do you know how exhausting that is for a human being? All because fucking I did terrible in school and I fucking... It's hard for me to learn, that's all. Fuck. Anyways, I'll get back into it. So I spent a while off with my father and worked up my social media more. Met comedians like Andy Kindler. Ralphie May was probably the biggest connection I met through social media. And me and Ralphie had tussles, man. Me and Ralphie May had tussles on Twitter because I was trying to make jokes and then I was making rookie mistakes I shouldn't have made. I highly regret the way that I was doing stuff when I was childish as a comedian. I was tagging things in Ralph May. My first joke I told Ralph May, I think, was like, I think Ralph May should have been in the movie Life of Pi. And, yeah. So, fuck. Anyways. But, yeah, he took it as a fat joke. He didn't enjoy it. And he's like, that's not how you make a name for yourself. You don't attack other comedians. That's like, okay. All right. Well, I apologize. Yeah, that's kind of not the way I've been. It's like, that's not the way you do comedy. You don't attack comedians. It's like, yeah, you do it for fun if you're roasting and that. But it's like, the point is, you don't want to, like, butt heads with, like, people. You just want to focus on yourself and just, like, do your comedy. That's all. But yeah. And then, because of my social media presence, I found the Shorty Awards. And the Shorty Awards are the best in social media, what they called. And I think it was like the 7th annual one that they were doing. And I knew this about a year in advance. I could solidify myself from going a fucking nobody and making myself a name into a somebody. And that's what I did. I got ridiculed when the voting opened up. I started getting votes in right away. I was leading most of the fucking way, man. Most of the fucking category for best comedian. I was leading the way in voting, man. And Nicole Arbor came along when she was dating Matthew Santoro. And if you guys know them, they're YouTubers. Matthew Santoro, he does all these like facts and that. Nicole Arbor is the comedian that was fat shaming people or got noticed because of that. And she also apparently was dating Matthew Santoro. And that is how she got into the finalist position, because this fucking guy, like, basically was dating her, and they basically said, hey, go vote for my girlfriend for this fucking category. But apparently she's abusive. Apparently Nicole Arbor is abusive. So, she got the number 1 spot. The number 2 spot, I think, was somebody in Britain. I can't remember. It was like some online thing. But I got the 3rd spot, and that's the final spot. I got the finalists. I was like about 20 votes shy of not making finalist position, but I did it, man. I spent a month campaigning, and I was asking for votes. I know it was fucking annoying. People. Like, asking for votes. That's the most annoying shit. And other comedians weren't happy with me. They were like, "You're not a real comedian. You're just an entertainer. This is not the way of doing it properly." And they were wrong. They were wrong. I just wanted to prove that with social media, you can make yourself from a nobody into a somebody. No matter what. And that's what I did with comedy. I used social media as comedy for me. And a lot of people would say within like the first 2 years, I fucking busted my ass on social media. And that is why I still, to this day, I'm proud that I was a finalist for Best Comedian. I was up against names like Hannibal Buress and Mindy Kaling from the Mindy Project. Like that's a fucking incredible story already right there. In fact, there's just so much I could probably say, and I should have said. But you know what? This needs to go on longer because there's other things I want to quickly get to as well. So yeah, after the Shorty Awards, I was a little bit lost. I didn't know what to do, but a few months later, I found this app called Periscope. So then I started broadcasting. I started like live streaming, and when there was nobody on this app, I was getting like 200 people. Yeah, because I was the only Canadian that was periscoping at the time. It was so fun in the morning too. And now, a couple years later, I had fun on the app. I didn't make money off of it, but it was a way for me, a free time of socializing, trying to put myself out there. We did fun things like in the first year we had these little bullshit awards called the Coop Awards. But this fucking company wanted to like make it a big deal. Oh, I want to like take it next level and have somebody else host it next year after you. It's like, fuck, whatever. If you want to sponsor it and pay for all that shit, go ahead. I just want to fucking do my job. That's all. Anyways, so yeah, we did that, and then people got angry because they actually like did not get their awards from this company. This fucking company screwed me over big time because I put so much work into that shit. And all the guy had to do was send out fucking little plaques. Little plaques to people with the, like, congratulations. And he didn't do it. He fucking, for 6 months, held it aside. It's like everybody was bitching about it. And at that point, I was like, you know what? How fucking dare you, man? How fucking dare you? So, that then, to this day, Periscopers still go up to me and they're like, so, hey, how do the Cookie Awards still go? It's like, yo, once you do something on social media that people remember you for, you're fucking stuck with it. You're fucking stuck with it, ladies and gentlemen. And then after Periscope, I was like, sort of debating, like, I'm not happy. I need to do way more stand-up comedy, and I actually want to do it. So, but I did find this comedy coach on Periscope, and that's where I started taking comedy class. Is I found this guy named Aaron Haber who was teaching a class in Los Angeles. So I told him, hey, I've always wanted to start getting into stand up. I paid $800 for 6 classes. $800 for 6 comedy course classes, ladies and gentlemen. I did those classes. He taught me basically to this day, I don't even use some of the jokes I use. Some of them I do. Maybe I got, out of 6 classes, I had maybe about a minute and a half of good material that I can use on stage. It was fucking tough, man. And then um, I decided it wasn't good enough. So I paid for more classes. I took about 3 or 4 more classes with them for about $600. Because then after the last class, it was like, okay, it's the same thing over and over again. He's basically taught me I write one really funny joke a week. Why don't I just take that really funny joke, put it in my set, see if it works, moving on from there. That's all. Um, yeah, and then after that, I started my first set. I went to Ottawa. We recorded it, and we went to Montreal. Sorry, and at the Comedy Nest, and myself and Caitlin, my Patreon member here, we we went there and we recorded the set. So it wasn't that good, but some jokes worked. Like my Fonzie joke was the only thing that was funny, I think, there. And I think I told some Pokemon stuff. I think one girl come up to me after the show was like, "I really like your Pokemon stuff, by the way." And I was like, "All right, cool. Maybe I'll keep working on Pokemon." But yeah, that was fun. And then from there on, I went to Vancouver. Oh no, sorry, I went to Abbotsford and I did a set at Yuck Yucks. And then from there, I was directed to a guy named Sam Tommy with Stand Up and Deliver, which you guys know very well from all my open mics for many years now. Because I went to I met him at Abbotsford, and he told me to come out, and I did. A month later, I came out, and I did all right. And then he pulled me out after the show and just told me, just keep going. He's like, it was my first set. Don't get nervous and that. He's been a great mentor for me. And from there on, baby, it's just been, I've been doing sets over and over again. That's all. I've done shows locally, and I've done shows in Vancouver, and just here we are. You guys have asked me to wanting to move to Vancouver, do more comedy, and so I finally moved out of Hope in May because last August I got a new job and I was saving up enough money so I could move. That was the entire fucking plan. Is that I had to work this stupid fucking ass job in order to save money so I can move away. That was my mindset the entire time I worked at that job. So yeah, and then in May I said whatever, I'm not treated right, so I moved, and now here I am. Here I am. I'm doing all right. Paying $500 with everything included, and a townhouse with me and another guy. And then there's supposed to be the third guy is supposed to be here, but he hasn't been here in months. I think he like lives in Alberta. So yeah, that was a fucking long talk, and that's basically how I got started in comedy. So yeah, thanks for everybody for listening to that fucking, yeah, it's half an hour long. That's that's long enough. Okay. I wanted to get some other things done, but I guess that's enough for me. I have a wedding I have to go to tomorrow and Sunday. Chantel and Richard's wedding, or Freshie, what people know him on. He used to be a Patreon member, and then after I moved, he unpledged. I guess he didn't want to watch my comedy anymore and didn't want to support me. So, anyways, gotta go to their wedding. Maybe he'll want me to try and write a speech because I'm not sure if he has any other closer friends besides me. I really don't. He might, but hopefully I don't have to fucking say shit. Because frankly, yeah, I'm kind of angry at this guy for the way I was treated. So like, I worked my fucking ass off the entire fucking like football season, and this guy just sat around and fucking mooched. That's all he did. Anyways. Well. Anything else? No, just excited for this wedding tomorrow. have no fucking clue what I'm gonna wear. I honestly have no fucking clue. So I gotta be up tomorrow morning early, and yeah, thanks everybody for listening to this fucking long ass story. This was supposed to be this is supposed to be something different, but it wasn't. But peace out, everybody. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for another episode. This was longer than the one yesterday, but this was a good talk, ladies and gentlemen. All right, peace out, everybody.